Hello everybody, I think I'm live. Did you like my corny intro? Just experimenting. I think it came out okay. Yeah, just trying to spice things up a little bit. So, who we got? Paul Price is in chat. G'day, I've already said hello to you. It's been really nice weather here today in Sydney, Australia. Michael Naven, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying my videos. My M40, which we'll be talking about, my 1700 Yamato. We'll talk about Yamato. I've got another Yamato model coming. We'll talk about that. Jim's popped in. Hey Jim, hello. How's Thailand? Has the rain gone away? My girlfriend over there sent me a short video of her yesterday afternoon, and it was pouring down rain. Yeah, all around the restaurant was all completely flooded out front. Yeah, John Marley, good afternoon to you. Good to see you too. All right, how are we going? 5 in, very good. People will start to get notifications and slowly cruise in. It's probably a little bit. Oh, what time is the UK now? It's night time, isn't it, in the UK? Can't remember. I'm really tired. If Jeff shows up, then it's at least 1 or 2 a.m. over there. Yes, he had Jim saying yes, thunder and lightning last night. Yeah. And it's not that type of season. It's the wet, rainy season's over. It's supposed to be should be dry. There shouldn't be storms like that. Anyway, so so I didn't make it last week. I couldn't do the stream. I had some family visitors. We went out for lunch and stuff, so I had to call that one off. But that's okay. Things pop up. So what was I going to speak about? I made a little list on my icky sticky notepad. Thank you, Monique, for sending me that. It's very handy. It's 5 in the morning. Oh, it's too early, isn't it? Nobody's going to be up at that time. That's crazy. Sorry. But yeah, good of them to come out online if they do. Yeah, I'm a bit early, aren't I? It's 4 o'clock. I've had a busy day, you see. Today, I know we're going off subject, as I tend to. I had a plumber come in this morning at 7 a.m. who's been cancelled twice before. Yes, Jim, it's only 4 hours difference, about midday in Thailand. So the plumber came to fix the pipe behind the kitchen sink and put in new piping and everything. And it could take just a couple of hours, or it could have taken all day. They had a jackhammer going in there and everything, so I didn't want to risk. I couldn't do a stream with all that noise, so I had to make it for this time. So yeah, 4 p.m. That's all right. Anyway, it's 11 p.m. here in Illinois. Oh, that's not too late, but there's quite a broad time zone difference across the US, isn't there? So it's hard enough to get a good time for both UK and US when you're here in Australia. You know, we're on upside down at the bottom of the planet. Doesn't make things easy. There could be 4 or 5 hour differences from one side of the states to the other. Although from Sydney to Perth, it's I think there's a 3 hour difference at the moment. And of course, with daylight savings, Queensland directly above us is an hour difference as well. So go figure that. Anyway, so what I wanted to do today, and we can't go longer than an hour. I'm on an hour's limit for this stream, so I think we'll get a fair bit in, is I want to give a couple of shout outs. And to these shout outs to channels that I'm sure everybody already knows. And the first one is to Nigel. Nigel's Modeling Bench. Now, I've already got his link down in the description. And I just want to recommend anybody who watches this replay or who comes in now to check out his channel if you haven't already. He's just put up a beginner's build for beginners, going right through from all the tools you need, how to cut plastic off sprues, different types of glues, every process for a beginner in a series that he's just started, and it's really, really good. Also, what else we got? I think I mentioned this already. Nigel's done the Pontos unboxing and review. Fantastic. Comes up with lots of information there, and all about all the detail of all the photo etch and resin parts, and they come with that amazing basic detail kit for the Yamato 1/200 scale. And Jeff is in. Welcome, Jeff. Good to see you. Up bright and early in the morning. What is it? 1 a.m. Must be 1 a.m. Oh yes, Jim's saying he has a pommy rant. Yeah, he had a good bit of a rant on a video the other day. I know he was serious, and there's some serious issues there, but sometimes you got to laugh, don't you? You know, I've been tempted to. Well, I go off on my little rants too sometimes. You start thinking about some stupid things going on around the world and in your own country. Oh, 10:07 p.m. Oh, that's okay then. That's not too bad. We won't keep you up too late, Jeff. I'm only going to do this for an hour, so you can go to bed at 11. All right, or back to your model. So that's Nigel. Okay, definitely whip down and check out Nigel. Also, I wanted to mention Moss 6510 models. Okay, he's just put out a fantastic review of the brand new Spitfire Mark 9 by AIRFIX. I know nothing about aircraft. I've never built an aircraft model before, but I can see the quality in that and how that must be an amazing kit for those who want to get into it. But he put out a great review that's definitely worth checking out. So go check out him. Again, his link is down in the description of this video. John's up in Newcastle, Australia. That's good. We've got some flooding down here. We had some heavy rain towards a few days ago, and even though it may be nice now, the rivers started rising and causing flooding, and yeah, a lot of dramas, but I think that's settling down now. I don't watch the news much at all, so you know. The Spitfire, yes. Yes, Jason on Model Kit Stuff also did a good review of it as well during a live stream, I think it was as well. I couldn't make that one, but yeah, incredible, isn't it? I think, yeah, if I was going to build my first aircraft, that would not be it. That's just way beyond me. I have to go something a lot easier before I try that. But Nigel's been putting out quite a lot of videos lately, and even when he wasn't, he was making them in the background, so he's managed to build up a series. All right. What else was I going to mention? Jason, Aussie Scale Modeler, who might try to pop into chat if he's not too busy. I was talking to him about 5 minutes before I went live. He's up there setting up all his outlaw paints and fulfilling all the orders and testing the paints and doing comparisons with other paints, and it's fantastic. So outlaw paints, and again, down the link in the description. Now, there's another video channel I watch that not many of you may know about. It's called Modeler. Now, I don't think I put this in the link in the description, but I will later. I can't do it right now, but I'll add it. So it's Modelar. He's a fellow over in Malaysia, and he does reviews. He's put together kits. He's currently working on the 1350 scale Antarctic observation ship Sawyer from Hasegawa. Difficult build, but he's got years and years of experience, and he comes up really well. He also built a ballistic missile launcher modeled by Snowman, a 172 scale, this gigantic thing mounted on a truck with 100 wheels, and it's fantastic. So yeah, and he's currently he did a unboxing of an old 1500 scale USS Nimitz from Trumpeter. But what I was going to mention is that he also got me interested in a new model, which I won't tell you what he's done. You have to go over to his site, have a look, and you'll see. So what I've done is I've ordered the Yamato model that's all made of metal. So yeah, we've got a metal Yamato on its way. I saw his video on it, and it looks quite interesting. It's 30 centimeters long. So for those in America, it's 12 inches. Is that right? I was up the right way. So that's how long it'll be, or centimeters the other way. Look at that. It's like dropping pieces of plastic. There we go. So that's how long it is, and it's about 6 high. But anyway, it's all metal. The whole thing. It's a photo etch hater's nightmare, because it's all like sheets of photo etch, the whole thing. So anyway, I've ordered that on Amazon. They tell me it'll be here the end of next week. So yeah, we'll have a look at that, and yeah, give me something else to practice on before the big one, yeah, that's right. You can't have too many Yamatos. Definitely. I'm going to be Yamatoed out before I even build the 1/200 scale. I'll be like, oh my God, another one. So yeah, Jeff, you subscribe to him. Good on you, mate. You'll like his stuff. He's a good fella. I really like Yamato. Yeah, I do, eh? I don't know. Yeah, I do. I just think it was way ahead of its time, and for the size of it, it was the largest battleship on the planet. And as far as I know, the whole time that it was, from the time it was launched to the time it was sunk, I don't think anyone was killed by it. I don't think it didn't sink any other ships. There was nobody. It didn't do what it was supposed to do. Yeah, luckily, I guess. Yeah. Jeff asking, am I going to order one of those stands from the Norwegian guy? I'm thinking about it. I haven't looked at what the postage is yet. That's probably the scary part. In fact, I haven't even looked at what they cost. But like Nigel did in his review of it, it would be nice and handy to be able to position something of a 200 scale, especially to work on. I am wondering though how it would be after you've painted the hull, because most ship builders, in the very beginning of your build, you usually paint that hull. Yeah, I'd be afraid if it's going to be in those sections where it's being held, I'd hate the paintwork to get damaged. G'day, Harry. Welcome, Harry. Yeah, so you know, I mean, you could put some padding there and so forth, but yeah, I don't know, because you know, 90% of your build, it's going to you're doing it after you've painted the hole in most cases. But it was really well done. It's all 3D printed and looks quite solid and looks really good. So yeah, I'll see. I'll got to check on the prices of all that. The postage is terrible these days for anything. Walking to work, Harry, are you? Well, that sucks. Moist here in Durham in the UK, is it? Okay. Yeah. What's John saying? I've been moving house over the last week. Oh God, the bench just about to be restarted with the spare of the moment new purchase. A what if? Well, I can't even pronounce that. I'll put it up on the screen and you can read it. A what if? Okay. Try a minute. See, Jeff, look what you're doing. You're sucking everybody into these mini arts. You got me. You got me into it. Now we've got another person. What is this thing? I can't even. It looks like you're half swearing. I don't know what that is. Is it a truck? 3-wing in German. Okay, it's an aircraft. No, not with 3 wings. Okay. Oh, that's good. All right. So, what else we got to talk about? Let me just check. Are we getting the thumbs up there? Oh, yes, we are. Good on you. 9 thumbs up, 12 watching. And Gary's in. Gary Wood. G'day. Sorry, the chat is way behind the actual stream. I think the second hand. Gary says, interesting. Sorry about the noise in the background. Harley just rode past. I'm using an old second-hand freestanding ironing board for my assembly of the 1200 Yamato. Gives me total access and costs nothing. An ironing board. Wow. Yeah. He's just giving me thoughts of just how big that ship is. Yeah, it is big, isn't it? Yeah, gosh. What I use, I got this black box you can see down there. It used to have a graphics card in it. I think I showed you guys once in my other streams with little V's cut out, and I can put the hull in there. But that's only like 350 scale. That's cool kit. Yeah, that's good. Give me total access. An ironing board. See, this is what we got to work around. Things are getting expensive. You got to think outside the box. And yeah, that's good. I like this one. Yeah, jet engine on the wingtips. Okay, I see. Well, it probably is. Good excuse for not doing the ironing. Yes, that's good. It's a what-if plane, kind of a vertical takeoff with spinning rotor in the middle. Vertical. Does it take off like this, or does it take off like this, like a Harrier? 3 jets on spinning wings in the middle of a rocket. Totally stupid concept, but hey, that's cool. You know, quite often I go online trying to find models that are weird, something different, like even if it's sci-fi, just something, you know, just out of the ordinary. That's why this metal Yamato, I thought I'll give that a go. I'll probably end up cutting my fingers to pieces on the metal, but we'll see. All right, so what I want to do is I want to give you an update on what I've been doing. So, you know, you guys have been watching my M40 progress. There's my phone. I forgot to turn it down. So somebody's messaging me. And I don't know if that's Sam. Oh, Donnie. Jeff. Okay, you sent me a picture. Oh, thanks. There we go. That's the aircraft. Right. There. Thanks, Jeff. Wow, isn't that weird? And that was a real thing. Huh. Jesus, pilots were brave. All right. So, yes, got it, Jeff. Yeah, how do you land that thing? Oh, it's all right. There's no gravity on the moon. It comes down softly. So, it's not a real thing. Okay, I gotcha. All right. Yeah, so you've been watching my videos. You're about 2 behind the current one I'm making. So when you see me live like this, you see in real time where I'm up to in my model builds. All right. So I'm actually started on the terrain for the M40 on the diorama, and I'm going to show you what I've done. Quite a bit of this today. So there's my picture frame done with the plaster, and then I've got rocks on there to form the dirt, and that's the sort of dirt trail that the M40 vehicle is going to take up pretty much all of that. The bits of here and in this corner, I want to put water in, or a water effect, so that looks like it's water there. And this will be snow, and even though it's just the plaster at the moment, I've got my snow, AK snow to cover over all of that. And the idea will be to, this is also going to be very muddy. So what I did was I sprayed this. I used, for the rocks, I was out on my deliveries and I just got to the side of the road and I picked up with a plastic bag and scooped up some rocks off a dirt road. And yeah, I just sprinkled them on there. I put some glue down and sprinkled them on there, and that's how they went on. And then I come along with some Tamiya dark brown and sprayed them, and then I got a few little highlights with some deck tan and just made little highlights areas in there. So it's looking better than I expected. This is all, never done this before. So the idea is to, I bought the other week, some dry mud, but it's too dry because this is a wet diorama with mud and snow. And this dries, you can see the wheels on there. Well, it does. It looks like dry mud. No good to me. Maybe I can mix this in, but I can use it on parts of the vehicle. I don't know. So today I went down to my hobby supplier, and I bought AK's Muddy Ground. This stuff, man, check out this stuff. Yeah. Just get this. See, now that is mud. You know, maybe I could put that on my face. No, maybe not. That's mud. So good stuff. Now, the guys down there told me that this is muddy ground, but it dries, so it doesn't look like wet mud, which is what I really need. But they didn't have any left. You can get wet mud, but they didn't have any. So the guys said to me, look, not a problem. Once you put it on there and it's all dried, hit it with some gloss primer, and it'll have that effect. So problem solved. Yes, I'll be doing this all on the videos. I'm filming this as I go. So yeah. Now, what I'm also doing is I'm testing these to see how they look. So that mud you just saw, there it is there. I don't know, the quality of this video is supposed to be 1080p. I hope the video looks okay. The light's a bit of a problem, but anyway, that's dried in there. Yeah, I can't take that out, but that, even though it doesn't look so great there, It actually looks pretty good. So that will be my mud. That's going to go in the tracks of the M40 and in amongst all the rollers, the wheels in there. We'll get it all muddy looking. The snow, I've got two types. I've got the AK snow and I've got another one called sprinkle or sparkle or, yeah, snow sprinkles. So there's the AK snow, if you can see that. And there you go. Looks a bit better when the light's all right. So the fluffy white snow there, that's the good stuff. That looks like the nice thick layers of snow. The sprinkles is the lighter stuff, which has a bit of a shine to it and it looks more wet. So you put that down, I think, after I cover all this top with snow, the edges along the edge of the road would be with that sprinkle one, which would give a sort of a melted snow effect on the edge of the road that would then lead on into what is the mud. That's how it's supposed to work. But I've come into a bit of a problem. I have water gel transparent diorama. I thought, oh, excellent. This will create the water over the rocks. It'll be transparent. You'll be able to see through it. It's actually white. It's completely, let me show you. Get this up. See, it's white like a white wood glue, PVA type glue, but it's AK transparent. Now, this stuff I haven't used before, and I thought, well, I better test it, so I put it in a lid as well. Now, mind you, this was 3 hours ago. It's not transparent. It's still looking white. So I'm glad I tested it before I stuck it on my model, otherwise I'd have a milky river. I'm going to give it overnight and see if it clears, but I just don't think it will, eh? I hope it proves me wrong, but that's not how it should be, definitely. It says gel transparent. That's not transparent. So, and I didn't put it on too thick. It should be all right. Okay, so we'll find out how that works. So yeah, that's where I'm at with the M40. Let me catch up with you guys on chat. Very cool, thank you. It's going to look great. I think it will. I don't plan on gluing the, like, would you? I've never done a diorama like this. I mean, I've done my ship one that you've seen. That's glued in. Do you glue your model down on the diorama? I don't want to do that. I want to just sit it there. But what I will do is, because this will be all filled with mud, and I need to put tracks in there leading up to where the vehicle stopped. So, for instance, there's going to be tracks at the rear where it's come to a stop, and then it's going to be in there on top of a lot of mud. So I'm going to press it in place, but then take it off, so that when all dries, I can just put it back and sit it in its own track marks, and it'll be fine. I don't want it permanently in there. I don't know. Is that how it works with dioramas? Do they glue your model to it so it can't be taken off? Anyway, that's what I'm going to do. It looks like chocolate pudding. Yeah, it does, eh? It's, oh well, it's South Korean mud. I don't know. It's funny because you can actually, you can actually buy Russian mud, German mud, Egyptian mud. I mean, really? Is there a difference? Yeah, I don't know. Pudding, perhaps, yes. Moving on. Could be, yep. Matchbox diorama. Eventually, start painting the figures. Yeah, I'm really enjoying the diorama so far. The only problem too I have is where I'm going to put this thing. You know, my dust problem here. I'll maybe have to get some. My next build will maybe an acrylic case to put over it. You know. Don't knock AK stuff. Yeah. Which is your local store? Oh well, I go to a place called the Combat Company. Yeah, check them out. Combat Company. They do a lot of Warcraft, Warhammer stuff. And I just noticed my TV's in the background there. I'm going to put that off. It's distracting. Hang on a sec. That's strange. Did that just turn on by itself? I thought it was off before I started streaming. Anyway, yeah, Combat Company. They stock all this stuff because the dioramas they do for Warhammer gaming. They got a big warehouse that they use as their shop. It's all online mostly, but in the warehouse they have all their tables set up, and you can go in there and you see them all in their war gaming and working on their figures and stuff. And yeah, but not my sort of thing. I don't want it to be my sort of thing. That's a whole nother hobby, isn't it? Wow, and expensive too. You think houses are expensive? Those things, oh, yeah, thousands and thousands of dollars. They build up all their armies. How am I going to put the snow on? Do you use some kind of shaker, like big salt shaker? No, there is ones like that you use like a sieve and put it across, and that's good if you've got like trees and stuff. You want the snow to settle on the branches and leaves. This is going to have no trees, although I'll show you in a sec. But the snow it just goes on with a paintbrush. Is it stipple effect? Stipple effect. You just dab it on. Yeah, that's how I'm going to put the snow on there. There is one that you do like flour or something and do that. I've also bought. Oh, I didn't buy. Not prepared here. I got to go running around for stuff. So while I was out picking up rocks off the road, I also picked up some like bark sort of things, like it was a different dirt road, and I run that through a sieve, and then I got the finer stuff out here, which gives me like a really finer dirt that I may use on here. I'm not sure, but this stuff costs a fortune if you buy it. That Evergreen, whatever that company is that sells all this stuff, costs a mint where you can go buy stuff. I live opposite a park, I went and got these, Now obviously they're too big, and they won't stay green, and they'll probably go brown and fall apart. So I found out, but there are ways of using chlorophyll to preserve these things. But it was pretty complicated, and then after that you had to dry them out. I'm like, forget that. So what I figured is, rather than using all these, it's snow, it's cold, there's no life, so I've got dead trees. So I've got these, just some twigs, there you go, look, and I'll put them around here and there. Just need 4 or 5 of them and done. Bit of snow on the branches, I'll just wipe a bit of snow on there, done. Just like I'm putting the snow on the tank. Also picked up some bigger bigger rocks that I might place somewhere, maybe beside the water, or who knows, wherever it looks good. So yeah, for free. You wouldn't believe it, eh? It was about 10 metres just away from where I'm scooping all this off the dirt road was this dead kangaroo that a truck had hit overnight. Oh man, it stunk. Anyway, won't go into gross stuff. Yeah, but no, it's all good. I haven't washed it, but it's okay. It's all that. Stripple, that's the word. Thank you, John. Yes, stripping. What did I say? Stripling. Yeah, stripple effect. That's the one. Yeah, if I don't pronounce something wrong, just blame my accent. That's what I do. Yeah, free's best. Yeah, what was this one? On behalf of your local council, thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. You know, I left the kangaroo there though. Yeah, so these little test pieces, I'll put them aside. I'm going to hope that this goes clear. Otherwise, well, I can't use it. I might go back to the guys down at the Combat Company warehouse and ask them if there's something wrong with it. Yeah, maybe I put it too thick. No, I didn't put it too thick. It's like 2 millimeters. Can't be too thick. Yeah, and if it's like white glue, then maybe I could just use white glue. But no, because I need that shiny effect. It's got to look like water. Now, I know someone mentioned here Night Shift. I'll go back to your thing. Yeah, I know. I watched Night Shift, and he does some amazing stuff. I've been, watching his latest couple of videos, and that's a skill of its own. Isn't it? I can't do that. I can't even get close to doing that. I've got to drink my coffee before it gets cold. Good. Yeah, so, Night Shift, great stuff. Yes, that's right. We're all into recycling. That's what I'm doing. I'm making use of stuff I find. The tank itself, I keep calling it a tank. It's not a tank. All right. Let's have a quick look at it. It hasn't changed at all, I don't think. No. I did start doing some weathering, but then I thought, no, I'm going to put this aside. I need to do the diorama, have it all completely done, then sit the tank there and go, right, this is where I got to put the mud. This is where I need this. This is how much snow I need to put on. So that'll all get done later. But for the moment, there it is. So if I can maybe get my light around a bit more. Yeah. I did do a bit of rust and weathered the platform there a bit. So I need to do a lot more weathering on it. It's very subtle. You probably can't see. It's a bit of streaking on the side. Jeff gave me the idea of using the oil paints to mix up, and that's what I did on this to get that basic effect happening. On the front guards there, again, it's probably too dark to see. But again, this needs lots of mud. Like all this in here is just going to be filled with mud. And of course, there'll be a little bit of snow here, a little bit of snow under here, and little bits around on the top. Not much though. I could imagine these things, like the snow would melt pretty quickly. Yeah, you can see the bit of weathering on the side there showing up there. It's coming up all right. It's not Night Shift quality, but Jesus, that guy's amazing, isn't it? Absolutely amazing. Thank you. Yes, nice work. Thank you. Yeah, I'm generally an aircraft modeler and wooden ships. Yeah. I want to do more armor and vehicles. Yeah, it is a big gun, isn't it? Massive. You know, when I first got this, I was wondering, what the hell's that on the back there? This giant shovel here. And when this is up, so this section, that's only sitting there actually, take that away. But this, see how it's sitting there? This lifts up completely. You can have this open or closed, and then this sets down. And the idea of those teeth, it's digging into the ground so that when this thing fires, it doesn't slide backwards. That's just to brace the whole vehicle and stop it moving. So, amazing. There's a bit of a rust effects I've done on that. That's showing up too well. See the slight tint. Yeah. But again, I don't know how rusty these photos are hard to come by. I mean, they're all black and white for a start from the war in Korea, but yeah, particularly up in the snow, you just imagine there'd be rust. You know? Yeah, I know. I am happy with my models. I am happy with the results in the end. It's just getting there. You know, I've always been very competitive. When I work on something, I want it to be the best it can be. I know there's always going to be better. It's like half the reason why I haven't even thought about starting that 1-200 Yamato is because I'm watching all the posts of other people's builds going up. I'm thinking, oh my God, look at that, you know, look at the hull on that, look at the work they've done on that. It's fantastic. And the other reason is that I'm waiting for the Pontos Advanced set. So the Advanced set is the one after what Nigel's just done. They'll be bringing that out, as far as I know, in the new year. I have no idea what it includes. Probably everything the basic set has, plus more, but I don't know how there could be more, because you get 15 sheets of photo etch with your Yamato kit anyway, and then Pontos just brought out one with another 12 sheets. What else could you make metal that isn't already? Unless you buy the kit I just bought, that the whole ship's metal. So yeah, we'll see. So the gun is 155 millimeters, a little over 6 inches. Yeah, amazing, eh? And so many crew. It comes with 6 crew to load and operate it. Where do they fit? Oh, they must fit in there somehow. Incredible. Yeah. So yeah, catching up. It's a metal Yamato at that point. Yeah, incredible. But I would fork out. Like, I bought the 3D Wild extras, which was the wood deck with all the brass guns, the main guns, all in metal. Although I wasn't happy with the main guns, they're an alloy. They're not steel or brass. A very light alloy, and the detail on the plastic guns of the Yamato is more than what these metal ones have, so I won't be using them. It was only $120 for the kit, including some resin parts, and even if I just use the deck, which is perfect, the deck, the second one I got, they've replaced the first one that had its fitting issues. This one fits perfectly. Even if it's just the deck I use from the set, that's worth the money. Yeah. They also threw in more anchor chains and some other stuff. But yeah, so I'll probably buy that big detail up set. I'll try and find out some more information about that one. I'll ring up. I'll send an email out to our friends at Detail from Facebook and get that happening. Yeah, I'm getting close to another 15 minutes. I've covered everything I wanted to talk about. I'm just going to have a quick look at, let me check. So yeah, Nigel's put up about 3 videos in the last couple of days. Very good. With the review of that model stand is great. And Jeff Donahue and his little Meng Whippet, that's coming along nice. I just watched your last video. I like the way you're showing your instructions up there in the corner to see what part you're working on. That's a great idea. And when you mentioned about your airbrush cleaner, is the same product as your Tamiya Extra Thin. Well, like, really, is it? I mean, would you put Tamiya Extra Thin into your airbrush? Isn't that going to dry and clog things up? I just don't know if that is that right. Is it? It's the same stuff. Because that's incredible savings of money if you can do that. There's probably a product too that's probably the same as the airbrush cleaner that's even cheaper than what Tamiya are putting in that bottle. So, you know, we'll see. Just moving on. Oh, did I not? I need to check back. What was that? I built Tamiya 1350 Bismarck with an aftermarket wooden deck. It really lifted the build. Oh, I thought you were going to say the deck lifted. People worry about that happening, which can happen, I've heard. In fact, I was building, might have been the hood, where I had a wood deck for it, and it was summer here, it was really hot, and the deck started to curl up on the ends. It started to curl up, and I thought, oh no. Imagine if it did that while it was stuck on the deck, like the pressure of it from the heat curling up. Then someone suggested to put it in the fridge. So I put it in the fridge for a couple of days, and it flattened out again. So yeah, depending on the climate and where you're from, your deck could happen. But the decks that I've got for the Yamato and a couple of other my builds, they're all the ones with the sticky, you peel off the clear underneath and it just sticks down, and that stuff is like flypaper. If you know what I mean, you touch that with your fingers and you got to be really careful. And you only get one shot. You want that in position exactly where you want it as it's going down. Other deck I have used, I don't know what brand it was, where you had to use white glue and glue it down. As far as I know, all my decks on my models seem to be okay. They're all fine. The only problem I have actually is with my Kitty Hawk over here. I'll point the wrong way. Kitty Hawk, the launch metal strips they are for the catapult to launch the aircraft, they're actually lifting when I had them glued down. So yeah, that's a problem. Yes. Yeah, his whipper video is looking good. Gary, what you got? Peter you have the kit PE, then gold medal photo etch. After that, for Jimmy photo etch, Pontos photo etch. Take your pick. That's what you want. Yeah, need on kit. And oh, did your wood deck arrive? Yes, it did. So all good. Yeah. I don't think is there gold medal photo etch for that Yamato? They'll all start coming out. It's funny, isn't it? Because when Trumpeter bought out the Scharnhorst, which was the last one in 1/200 scale, there was no aftermarket stuff. They didn't include just the basic railings and ladders for photo etch, but other than that, Pontos never touched it. No other company bought out any photo etch for it. And yet Yamato comes out and everybody's jumping on. Exactly the same. Yeah. It will clear your airbrush. Okay. I use acrylic thinners Like I have like I think it's a 4 litre tin of it I buy from Super Cheap. And it was like $12 on special. That's what I use for my airbrush. I just use an eyedropper in a little bottle and I put that in and squirt it through, done. But I should show you a problem I have. Okay, I'm going to disappear again, but I'll be back in a second, all right? Just hang on. Okay, so in here is my acrylic thinners with my eyedropper. So what I do is I just take that, I've got my airbrush, squirt it in there, swivel it around so it gets around on the bowl there, spray it through, and then I get a cloth and I just clean out the bowl, and then I might give it another quick flush through and it's done, no problem. But what I find is that paint gets on the needle back this way in the airbrush, and I find that if I leave it overnight, that paint dries and the needle sticks. It won't now because I've cleaned it, but if I take that out, when I do, I look and I find that this paint has dried in here, which is back before the cup. Like it's in this way, where when I put the thinners in there and spray through, it doesn't get to that part of the needle. Now, so I have to take the needle out. I get my dropper, I put a couple of drops on the needle, and then I get a paper towel and clean the needle. And I find I have to do that quite a bit. Even now, after using it now, I know that there's paint that's on the needle, even after I've sprayed the thinner through. And if I was to leave that till the morning, it wouldn't pull back and the trigger would stick. Now, I've heard that, John, you only take your needle out forwards. Now, I'm just going to put that back in, which is like that. And I'll put that back on. Sorry. Now, to take it out forwards, I would have to get my little spanner and undo that, which is not a problem, but you risk maybe bending your needle because you're fiddling around undoing that, loosening it there and then unscrewing that. And unlike my previous MkIXc airbrush, it actually had a rubber seal in there as well. And the more I undid that and put it back, the more I undid it together, it wore that seal out until it eventually broke. And I think the acrylic thinner didn't do much good for the seal as well. But this one doesn't have that seal in there, so that's good. But yeah, I don't really want to be, and pulling it out forward, yeah, that's going to stop paint getting dragged back. Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm dragging it back with the dirty needle, whereas if it's going forward, it's going in the direction of the paint. Anyway, yeah, but this is a good little airbrush. I did a review on this. Can't remember the brand, yeah. But I used to always take them out forward too. I'd heard that as well. So, but yeah, undoing that and that was just risky. I didn't want to bend the needle, which I've done a couple of times. Jeff says, I know what you're talking about. I completely tear the brush down after I finish. I run a small brush through. Yeah, I know. I get lazy, but I should at the end of when I'm finished for the day, then do a pretty detailed clean. I've got those little wire brushes to poke through there and clean it out as well. Yeah, but yeah, when it's clogged and when that paint gathers on that pin, when you pull this back, it won't flick forward because it's stuck in there in the tunnel because of the thick paint. And then I end up, in fact, so sometimes it's so hard to, when you loosen it, to pull the needle out. I need to get pliers to grip it and pull the thing out, and that's going to damage the needle for sure if I keep doing that. So anyway, Bilge, how are you, buddy? You're back. I saw your video there. I saw your quick video there that you put up. Very good. Very nice office. An office that is a view, not just with a view. Very good. Yeah, also I've got the tape on here to stop the air leaking. It's one of the quick releases. That helps. Yeah. Yeah. Get on there, subscribe to Jeff. You're missing out if you've just found him. You've got a lot of catch up to do. A lot of catch up. What else we got? John says, I put the needle back in just a fraction, then use a spanner. Teflon seal on the middle of the airbrush is the most expensive one, so I avoid getting it dirty. Yeah. Anyway, it's all right. It's just one of these things we do to make things more efficient, you know. I've got to thank Jason from Jason. He gave me a new spray booth, which I never had before. So I've actually got a spray booth temporarily in my bedroom with the exhaust heading out the window, but it's got the LED lights in it, the fan. I cleaned all the filters in it. Man, that's really great to have. So yeah, got to thank him for that. Oh yeah, cheers, mate. Oh, good. His view's always different. Yes, especially when you get that instant swimming pool. Not good. Yeah. I put some Mr. Tool cleaner in. Let it work for about 5 minutes, then run it through to keep it clean. Yeah. I used to use just soapy water. I had a squeeze bottle with a bit of dishwashing liquid in the water and used that. But yeah, it doesn't clean quite as well, so as the thinners do. Yeah. What do we got? Drying. I want to get a dehydrator for drying paint. Yeah. Makes things a bit quicker, doesn't it? Sometimes I think I don't wait long enough. I'll put an undercoat on and then go, oh yeah, that looks dry after half an hour, and then put my coat over the top of that. Seems no problem. I don't know if I'd make use of a dehydrator. You know what I did actually? Here's a really novice mess up. I had a piece that I needed to paint quickly and glue on. So what I did was I painted it. I thought, excellent. I turned on the oven, stuck it in the oven. I thought, just a couple of minutes. I come back after, it was only 2 minutes in the oven. I looked in there, the thing had melted and warped. Oh, and how lucky was I that there was another piece of that piece in the kit. It was actually the Shan horse I was working on, part of the superstructure. And I thought, oh my God. So yeah, ovens are not dehydrators. Don't try and dry your parts in an oven, not even for a minute. Big mistake. It could have been a disaster. The Not a Tank is going fantastic, mate. Yeah, I was showing it earlier before you come on, I think. You'll have to watch the replay. There's a quick view of my diorama again. Gradually getting there. got the dirt track down. I'm going to be adding some mud, snow and stuff to it. So it's coming on well. A window cleaner to clean acrylics out of my brush. Yeah, so what do we call it? Yeah, we've got window cleaner. I've heard people use that as well. Yeah, again, you've got to watch the rubber seals too. Be careful. Windex is what we call it here. Yeah. Strip the chrome from my cup. Yes, I think that happened to me when I was earlier on modelling. I was using it. Yeah. So yeah. Lacquer thinner will clean all leftover paint, but it's rather nasty. Yeah, and it probably stinks too. This is another reason why I don't use lacquer paints, because of the smell. I live in an apartment here. Although now with my spray booth pumping air out the window, providing the wind's blowing the right direction, yeah, I could give acrylic paints a go. 100 degrees. Yeah, I don't know what I set the oven to, but 100? Yeah, that's too hot too. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, my plastic melted, eh? It was terrible. Visions of melted models. Yeah. Non-ammonia cleaner. Yeah, that's probably the good trick. Whatever it is, it's cheap, you know, because you go through so much, don't you? Like paper towels, you know. I buy, like, actually I just got my order in from the supermarket. It's getting delivered tomorrow morning, and in it is another 6 rolls of paper towels. I use them when I'm painting. I use them over here. Yeah, definitely paper towels. You find the cheapest, not the cheapest, because they're like 1 ply, really thin crap that fall apart, but there's decent ones. So sometimes. Styrene melts at about 220. Yeah, now that I think of it, my oven might have been set at about 210, because that's what temperature I usually set it when I'm cooking a roast. Yeah, newbie mistake. I'll put that up to. Yeah. Fortunately, I was lucky. It wasn't too bad. Yeah, sometimes you put them on the windowsill and dry things in the sun, especially when you've just painted. Outside, preferably. And lately, see that container there? That is my drying container. Because of the dust problem I have, anything I paint, I drop straight into that and put the lid on to keep the dust off. Yeah, that's the way to go. Got a lot of paper towels. Yeah, got to have a lot of paper towels. So $5 a bag for rags. Really, that's handy too. Rags. I buy those wipes on a roll. Yeah. See, these. I use them. Like, one of them will last me ages just to clean out an airbrush. Just to wipe out the bowl. Yeah, so they're good. They're also good for, well, whatever else they're good for. But yeah, good stuff. Sometimes our hardware stores have them on for sale, quite cheap. Anyway, all right. So I will give a bit of good news too, for some information. So next Friday I'll be doing a stream, but I may have a visitor, depending what time I do the stream and what happens. I have my son coming to live with me, and a bit of personal information, but he's been living with my ex most of his life, at least since he was about 8 or 9 years old, and grown up with her, and that's not happening anymore. So he may be here. He's 19, turning 19 next week actually. And guess who I can share my modelling with and get him into modelling. So I actually bought him an aeroplane for his birthday last year. It was just a small little beginner's kit. He put that together and sent me some pictures of it, painted it all up. So I think the interest is there. Maybe it's hereditary. We'll find out. Of course, I don't know how I'm going to make room on the model desk for a second person. We'll have to figure something out. So yeah, so there could be Oz Scale Modeling +1. We'll see how it goes. Down the drawing, yes. Wouldn't put painted parts in enclosed box. I know. The lid's on there. It's not airtight. It's just keep dust out there, rather than being in the open. Yeah. Left a plane in the car under the sun and it produced droopy wings and props. That's a nice effect. Yeah. Stop racking up your workbench. Yeah. My problem is that dust, carpet causes dust, your clothes cause dust, and then the pollution outside comes inside. So. Anyway, so yes, you'll meet him. I'm 6'1" and he's taller than me. Oz and Son. There we go. Maybe I'll put a poll up. We can work out some names. No, I'm not going to change the channel name, but hey, he could start his own channel. How about that? We'll see. I tell you what, I got a job for him though. These need dusting. So yeah, I hate that. I've got these little icky, sticky little brushes that you can work on dusting them. And you had Warhammer. Okay, good. Well, I've got a few years of catch up because I haven't had much to do with him over the years. My pleasant ex had him, so I've got a lot of catch up to do. So we'll find out. Yes, thanks. Yes, that's true. Yeah. All right, guys. So I've got to call it. End this one. Gives you all a chance to say goodbye to each other in chat. I'll say goodbye to you all. Well, I'll be back next week. Most likely I'll do a morning stream. In fact, very likely I'll do a morning stream because I've got to spend the day he's going to be moving in, so I'm going to have luggage and all sorts of stuff going on. I'm going to get kicked out of my modelling room too, which is going to be something we've got to sort out, where I'm going to do my painting and stuff. We'll see. Then, and what else we got? Just catching up. Yep, thanks guys. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for the thumbs up. And I'll schedule the final Yamato video will come out next week, midway through next week. That's the final video of that 1700 build. And we'll have another video of the M40 come out as well next week. Yeah, the reason I've had to do that, well, we'll do that. So I'll see you all. Bye.